Hello and welcome to another update video about XRP. XRP is getting closer to that descending trend line here. Overall, we are still tracking an ongoing decline, which means that another low is still favored into the region of around 43 cents, possibly lower. That's the 18th, 17th of August low. But it is a very difficult chart, from a structural point of view. You can see that actually the development of the January lows, to the upside, we only had 3 waves up. I did say that before. It's only a 3-wave structure. Basically here another W, X, Y. So corrective movements to the upside. What I'm essentially watching for is the potential that either we're doing this, so here lower high, lower low, that this is forming as part of some kind of a massive triangle, but then also here we would have somewhere in this region a substantial low in place. There are signs for that, signals, or if something really bullish happens, that it actually follows through and rallies higher. But somewhere in this region, before we go much lower, I'm looking for signals of a reversal. But before we do that reversal, one more low seems likely. So I think the first question that needs to be answered is, do we get another low or not? We want to talk about the relevant conditions here that need to be fulfilled for another low. And if we then finally start that rally and can identify a clear bottoming structure, then the next question is going to be, but it's too early for that now, is this an impulsive rally, which needs to be taken with caution, because all the XRP rallies recently were just in 3 waves, so just corrective? Or is it going to be, just a corrective move up with basically a lower high and we get another lower low? So, but that, again, that's a question for the future, because at the moment, without any doubt, there is no long-term clear impulsive uptrend here that would make life easy on this chart. It's a very tricky chart. It indeed is. So in the short term then, we're still tracking this ongoing decline. We've just had a pullback to the trend line basically with yesterday's rally. We identified this wave count in yesterday's video before the small rally, and you can see no change needed to the wave count. The wave 2 that's on the chart here should, however, be finished. It should be finished. Well, that doesn't mean we come down now, okay? Again, I haven't got anything really reliable on this chart right now. So I just purely sketch out the Elliott Waves to identify potentially interesting trade setups. For me, it's difficult to identify here anything that's really reliable on this chart, because so far this chart hasn't produced us any impulse. So I think I mentioned that in a previous video. We need those impulses. They are basically like a landmark. They are like a lighthouse that really gives us an indication of where we are in a cycle. If a chart continues to move in trendless 3-wave structures, it is extremely difficult. We don't really know where we are. So we do our best, but we have to expect a lot of headwinds. So at the moment, in the wave count we discussed yesterday, price rallied higher in this wave 2, rallied into resistance, but never broke above the 78.6 retracement level. For me, 2 possibilities. First possibility is that this 5th wave to the downside is now unfolding. I haven't got any evidence for that at this stage. We would get initial evidence if the last swing low is taken out below 51.2 cents. But it would probably be better to see a break below that swing low, the most significant one here in this triangle pattern. 50.3 cents needs to be broken, and then 48.4. I think there are cascading probabilities and confirmation levels. So 3 levels of confirmation that the 3rd wave to the downside has started. At the moment, however, I see no evidence. So we've got, 50, what did we say? 51.2 cents is the first level. Then 50.3 cents, and then 48.4. This would be the condition that we're now heading down lower. I don't want this wave, this price, or I don't want price to get above the wave 2. If it does, then obviously I just have to reevaluate the chart, make a different bring a different scenario basically on the chart, okay? At the moment, it seems likely that this actually wants to extend a little higher here, but then I would not count this as a wave 2. So this is basically the short-term bearish wave count. But the condition for this is that we're breaking through the levels indicated to the downside, and that price doesn't exceed or break above yesterday's swing high. What happens if we get that rally above the yesterday's swing high? I think we have to extend this wave 4. Now at that time I might not count it as a wave 4 anymore. It might be a more complex correction, and this might be some kind of a B wave. I think it will turn into a B wave due to the size of it, but it doesn't make any difference right now, okay? It doesn't make any difference right now. Actually, no, I won't. If I see that, yeah, that we break above that level, I mean, for you, it's important to understand that even if we break above the 54.7 cent level, it would still be only a 3-wave move at the time, yeah? We would have resistance then at the X wave high at 63.6 cents. This is going to be resistance if we break any higher. And my view is, if we break higher, obviously we then also break above the trend line. I think it could take us quite quickly to that next high. You can see that several swing highs and resistances there. So this is something I would find very likely if 54.6 cents breaks to the upside to get to 63.6. But it might only be in a corrective rally. And it will most likely just be an extension of a correction. Now, again, at that time, depending on how high we go, I will not call that a wave 4 anymore. It would go too high. But it would be within the scope of a W, X, Y correction. If it can at some point then give us 5 waves up, which so far it has always failed to do, then it would impress me, and then I would look for a 3-wave pullback to potentially look for a pullback trade to trade the next side, the next upside, okay? Yeah, but it's too early to say that. It's way too early for that. First of all, in the short term, we need to pay attention to the relevant levels indicated. Need to see if price can break above the descending trend line. I think that's very simple. Trend line to the next resistance level. But at the same time, structure is important. I would say most people are interested to understand, does XRP have the potential to get back into a long-lasting uptrend? Now, we can really say that only if we see finally an impulse. There is nothing, okay? So it's just corrective. So it indicates to me, until I see an impulse, which can always happen, but there is not any impulse at the moment, but it indicates to me that we might really be in a long sideways range. Yeah, with a lot of volatility, and I think we're fairly close to a low here, also because of the oversold nature of the daily RSI. Now that might have recovered a little bit, but you still see that oversold nature here, very much, very low, yeah. As I always say, that is typically a good indication for an upcoming rally, and it did rally significantly already, but it's just not impulsive to the upside. We're still below a trend line. So we will keep our attention on the moment when the trend line breaks, and then we'll see how far it rallies, and maybe I will have to relabel that into a B wave. But again, it would still favor another low. Okay, so yeah. But we'll do that in the next video if we see any significant price action. But so far, actually, there's no change to yesterday. Okay, so hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.